I love people watching. I love taking articles of clothing off of people and attaching them to other people's clothing to make my own outfit. I also love making up imaginary lives for people and being like, oh, that guy over there, he's going to see his mistress. Or, oh, that woman over there is on her way to unalive a guy who's going to see his mistress. Or, oh, that person over there is on their way to go unalive both the husband and wife. I don't know why all my scenarios are people having affairs, but I'm not mad by it. I think the reason why I like people watching so much is because I live in a dystopian post-capitalist society where everybody and everything costs money. Money to which I don't have. So I'm trying to explore every avenue that's free. Especially since I personally live near multiple densely populated cities, so I naturally see a lot of people when I'm just traveling about. I when I tell people that I really like to people watch, some respond by saying, "Slay, me too," but then others say you shouldn't judge. It's mean. Didn't you ever learn not to judge? To which I say, who cares? It's free and it's fun. As long as you're not hurting anyone, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. And generally, I don't think there's a problem with judging as long as you're not hurting anyone. Like, there's a limit to these things. Over the course of 2 months, I've been seeing so many people judge other fashion trends and choices. They sit behind a screen and say, if you take part in one of these trends, you're the problem, or whatever. And I've been seeing a lot of people say that about specifically trends like the shark boot trend. You know, a lot of people wearing the shark boots over the summer, and as well as the trend of putting a lot of chains and keychain accessories on purses. And look, I'm not telling people not to like trends. I made a whole video talking about trends that I don't like. But I also talked about in the video that my biggest op with these trends is that there are people who take part in these trends and then they will shame others after the trend is over for continuing it. And I think that's really rude. Well, these people online are just rude just for the sake of being rude. I think it's okay to say I don't like a trend, but to shame others for liking it is just absurd. I've been lucky enough to see on my timeline of people shaming others for hating a trend. A lot
I want to have a quick conversation about the Target Fry Campus yellow banana boot.
I really wish fashion girlies weren't so condescending whenever they had any commentary like this. Like, I think there is a sheer lack of accessibility with fashion, and it's not just because things are so expensive, but it's because of people's attitude like this, where if anybody wants to try anything, right? Which honestly, if fashion is any kind of game, it's a gateway game. You will start buying the dupe of something and then you'll be like, oh, this is fierce. I want to buy more things like this. I want to be creative and find more ways to get stuff like this. And even if you're just being fashionable buying Target shit, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, sure, are real leather boots gonna last you a lot longer? Yeah, but I think when you make commentary like this, if you want to be truly incisive and if you want to be truly like coming from a fashion perspective, like you need to understand what it means for somebody to spend $450 or even $200 on a pair of leather boots. Like what is fashion if not innovation? You know what I mean? And what is innovation if not I'm going to buy a $20 boot and then make a cute outfit that looks like something that should be really expensive, but it's not. Is it going to last? No, but I don't think people in this country or the world truly that are making like a regular amount of money have the time to be like, God, I want to have a permanent permanent footprint in the style conversation. You know, like not everybody wants to be Julia Fox. And I think what I hate and truly like fear the most about these critiques, especially when I'm watching them, is like, when is the pick me attitude gonna come? When is the I'm not like other girls? And this is not just from women, but when is it going to be somebody that's truly just ruining and sucking out the fun out of something? Like you really sat out here in your aviator shirt that you could get at any fucking rag stock that you probably added some patches to, sitting like behind you there's a million dishes, which is a trend in and of its own that people have done. Like it's not original. Nobody has original thoughts. We're all made out of the same shit. And to sit there and be like, I actually don't want to buy a lot of back charms. Like, I want my charms to come to me. Like, girl, fuck off. Like, fuck off, honestly. I understand the conversation you're trying to have about, hey, it's probably better if you save your money and buy the nice boots because a lot of people really enjoy the thrill of the hunt of fashion. I'm becoming one of those people. However, I'm not out here judging people who want to buy bag charms for their bags because it's fun. I'm buying a shitload of bag charms. I'm gonna make the bag charms because I don't want to pay Mew Mew $900 for paracord and a piece of leather and some beads because I'm not stupid. You know, I think that regardless of the background of this person and any other person, and really this is no shade to you, but also like you're fighting for your life in those comments, being like, well, you're misunderstanding my point. It's like, no, you misarticulated your point. You actually like brought many points to the table, and a lot of them are quite prickly because you're not being empathetic. I don't think that fashion should be as ruthless as we make it out to be. If in fact we are wanting to come at it from a point of empathy and from the point of you live your life in these clothes. Maybe you want to have fun with them. Maybe you want to have a permanent sense of style because that will enrich your sense of self. That's where you should approach it from. Not from, I don't really want to participate in these trends. Like, I don't get it. Like, you don't get it because you don't get it, and probably the circumstances in your life mean that you don't get it. And if you, the circumstances of your life mean you get it, and you're failing to apply that reasoning, that empathetic reasoning, into getting on the internet and shaming a bunch of people for buying a pair of boots that they want, that the internet has basically held a gun to their face, being like, if you don't have these boots, you're not fucking cool. Like, I'm sorry, everybody are just people. We're all just people. So if some people are more susceptible to peer pressure and they go to Target, who made a dupe for those boots, and they buy the boots and they're happy, who cares? Like, I used to think a little bit like this, and also just coming from the mindset of somebody who, like, I didn't think I deserved anything, therefore I never bought myself anything. And I became best friends with a girl who, like, buys a lot of dupes of stuff, or like buys a lot of stuff that she likes when she sees it. And I realized like there's an effervescence also in participating in a little bit of the consumerism of culture. And I know some people won't like that, but we live in the world that we live in, right? It is cute to just buy yourself something cute because you saw it and it was cute and it's $40, $50 instead of 450. Like sometimes fashion is also participating in the adventure that is like, oh, I saw this cute thing and I bought it. Like, yeah, plan out your purchases, really like make time to make sense of the money and where it's going, but also don't suck the fun out of it. Like, if you listen to anything in this video, just know that fashion should be fun. And if buying $40 boots at Target is fun because that's what you can afford right now, or really you can't afford to put away 450 for a pair of like regular Fry Campus boots or whatever the fuck, or you don't want to hunt because you don't have the time, or you really haven't gotten the bug that is hunting yet, that's perfectly fine. I promise you, it's perfectly fine, and nobody cares. You know, nobody cares. Nobody cares this bad.
A lot of people are not understanding the implications behind being disrespectful for someone just because they follow a trend. The racist and classist implications. And I know some people are rolling their eyes like, not everything is about classism and racism, but also, yes, most things are, especially fashion. Okay, here is where I awkwardly slip in my intro. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Random Universe. The world is so crazy, so step into my universe, the random universe, and come along on a journey. Today, where we talk about people who hate other people for liking trends, which is so wild. Usually on my channel, I talk about fashion, but I pretty much just yap about whatever I feel like yapping this week. And today it's about pessimistic people. So let's continue. I think people often forget fashion is a luxury, not a right. Since the dawn of time, fashion has been used to show off wealth. I've mentioned in passing on my channel before that fashion is another way society loves to show off the class division and those who are disproportionately impacted by class, a lot of which are people of color. Historically speaking, people of color have been able to spin fashion with little money and power that they have. Black people particularly have innovated different styles that can be seen today, like head coverings, to streetwear styles, to even the Ivy League look, question mark. Some of the biggest fashion has been created when people came together to contrast fashion trends and norms happening at the time. So all of this is just to say that these people messing on others who hate the idea that they're wearing what others are wearing, even though so many of the outfits that are staple styles seen today were worn by many people of the time. The problem is these people forget it's okay to follow trends. It's okay to wear what others are wearing too. I said in my last video that people are sheeps, and I mean it. Individuality is not necessarily dead in my opinion, but rare to come by, because people can choose to wear what they want. It's pessimistic people who judge others for participating in trends, who are probably gatekeeping and getting mad for others for buying dupes, which is so frustrating because fashion is just finding what works for you. My favorite type of style is maximalistic style of fashion, where people put together literally whatever's in their closet. I love fashion that screams, I put on whatever's floating in my stream of consciousness. It shows innovation and like you're trying to find whatever works best. These are the same people who are saying, I don't want to be put in a box and go with trends, but then they're probably shopping at the row for a white shirt, which, to be honest, is fine. Like, you can choose to go wherever you want, but don't judge other people for choosing to go to Target to get their knockoff cottage bags when you're also tied to the shackles of capitalism and buying what sticks. It's also irritating that these people will say, y'all stay doing trends, but these fashion niches will have literally been there for the longest time. And one example would be the like purse accessorizing. I've known it for a long time as like the Jane Birkifying your bag, which is basically when people add a lot of charms and accessories to their bags. People have been doing this for literal years. Like, there is a whole niche on TikTok of people who have been doing this for a long time. You can go on forums, Tumblrs, and just see how long people have been doing that. It just happened to have gotten big recently. And to be honest, I've started doing it a year ago, and now I can't not see myself accessorizing my bag with plushies, crystals, or faces of people that I love. I can't think of a time when I literally wasn't doing it. And yes, maybe did I start seeing it because it was a trend, but I just genuinely love doing it. So maybe there are people like me who did it because it was cute and trending, but they're gonna continue to do it because if they're like me, they genuinely love it and like the personality it gives to their bag. The people that are having issues with people following trends are probably the same people who were loving the 90s trends, but once they saw too many people wearing the same outfit, they were hating it, saying the 90s look has been on for too long, it's starting to look cheap, everyone's wearing the same outfit. But it's only now, when it's more accessible for people to follow trends through dupes and cheaper options, people are mad about it. And it's the same people who are upset about dupes of purses of large brands like Dior having basically the same type of bag that's considered a knockoff at a cheaper price. People have been starting to begin to refuse to wear those bags. You know, I'm talking about people who are mad about the fact that like there's dupes of like Dior and Chanel bags because they paid thousands of dollars for it. Now these people are paying a couple hundred at most for the same bag that looks literally the exact same. And it's like, no, you're not mad that there's dupes out there that look the same. You're mad that because people can look at both of your bags and assume you bought them at the same place. They both assume, oh, maybe they bought them at Dior, or maybe they both got a dupe. You're mad because you're being put in the same class category as somebody else that you would perceive that you would not be in the same category as. And it pisses you off. And what's so funny is because What's so funny is you're giving into the shackles of capitalism and you're going out to buy these Dior bags, which I'm pretty sure, wasn't it this summer that it came out that Dior has been marking up their prices to make mad money off of them. I think it was like a 58% markup, and it only cost them a couple $100s to make. Like, you should, if anything, you should be mad at these brands for preying on you guys and making you pay all that. People love exclusivity. They love the idea of not everyone else having what they have. That's why so many people are so attracted to the Birkin bag, because not everyone can have a Birkin bag. You have to buy so many Hermes products to be even considered for a Birkin, which is crazy. But people are willing to do it because they love exclusivity. They love being able to say, yeah, I'm a part of this list that you're not a part of. So that's all I have for today. I know I say this after every video, but I really wanted to talk about the topic because it's really been coming up on my page. Yes, I know I say that all the time, but this is just very annoying because people are allowed to like what they like. People are allowed to wear what they wear. And I hate when people are like, well, you're such a sheep, you're such a trend follower. But it's like, you can just like what you like. Creating something beautiful out of nothing is amazing, and no one should judge others for sticking to trends or buying cheap things. But anyway, if you want, like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. XOXO, more to come soon. Bye!